All right. What's going on, everybody? Tackling some topics today. I wanted to talk about storytelling today. Um, its origins and why it's something that I think it's a useful skill for you to learn. Okay, so storytelling, obviously, we've got the hieroglyphics history and biblical and Sumerian tablets and stuff. But let's even think about the human experience of telling a story, which is the basis, is that we say something, another mind relates to what the beginning was and the outcome, and they view it as a truth, what the story was. So sometimes the stories are more true than reality, you know? And what I've found is that you can reveal something to someone through a story so much easier than a real analytical conversation. You'll tie in emotion too, which makes them remember the story for a lot longer. You know, a lot of people that, in your conversations, and you're just so right-brained and just numbers and analytics of what the conversation was and verifiable things and stuff, you're all missing out on the stories that are really getting going and that are getting people going. Because you have to engage people as a whole unit, emotional. There has to be some logic to it. This is true, but the act of storytelling it's kind of like something that humanity needs. And, I'm always saying that everyone has something to say and something they want to express. And sometimes a story can express just all of that, It can express how you feel conflicted as a human. It can express, there's just so many principles, It's really fresh on my mind today because, someone shared with me a Shel Silverstein book with me. And it was just really profound. It was a profound way of looking at things in a simple way that had a lot of effect, and created kind of an understanding of the different range of emotions that stories leave people with, And we're creating stories, in my camp, we mainly create stories around tension and moral dilemma and stuff, but to see stories of just about like something didn't work out, or there's a truth of how things are, and it's real and it's sad. Those are interesting stories too. So there's so many different things that, the person who shared this, we could have went back and forth about the validity of sadness or how it makes you feel or what to do productivity wise with it. Or we can have a story and it just really wraps everything up. And then we're like, well, hey, we both feel this way about that story, so we know how we feel about that topic, So storytelling just really clears things up. And it's, once you realize it, you realize that some people take it, there's a lot of ways you could take it, Once you realize that the whole game is run by stories, from rappers to sports to politics, religion, of course. Everything is stories. Conversation is storytelling. But once you realize that, you see where the control really lies in things and who's dictating what. Not particularly who, but where's the influence really lie. But I think that storytelling is something that it's important to get good at. It's important. It's an important skill to have. If you work on it, you'll be able to use it in your conversation. You can be able to use it in your relationships. Writing, where is this relationship going? Takes a little bit of storytelling in itself, just to even have a romantic idea, you have to have some of the emotional planning to create a story in your mind and to fulfill. That's what drives people. That's what drives people closer. So you have to go down a road. You have to take a couple risks and ask a couple questions and see if people are down. It's so universal. We could talk about storytelling so much and in depth. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get more about storytelling, but I just wanted to introduce a video talking about it. And in case people were like, I can't just sit here and daydream, it's not gonna help me with my bills or whatever I got going on right now. You don't actually know, like, trying to develop more stories may help you develop your own story and what your story is. I can't say that that's not a useful thing to have. It's really a personality foundation. And then the foundation of storytelling, goes back to oral tradition. Every country has its own history of stories, the U.S., West Africa, Europe, every little nation or region has different stories as to what they are used to being told and how those mediums are used to being told. But professionally, the way that I'm doing it with film writing and producing stories for people to consume has its origins in like the Middle Ages, even prior, when we started as human society been able to sail and travel and have more trade access. Trading opens up stories, because you're trading ideas too. Oh, did you know that salt is this valuable here? That's a story, I went to this place and I had a conversation. I met this guy. I had 2, units of measurement of salt with me. And they freaked out and they came out, they bought me drinks, and then they put me up in the palace and they said if I can go back to the town where I got this salt from, so then I set up a deal. That's a story. That story gets out, boom, that's business, That's so trading and stuff is where this traveling idea of producing stories for consummation kind of began. It's like a troubadour, a minstrel, a bard of sorts, which are just these guys who pretty much go to taverns, and they give you the regional news. They give you what herbs and spices, kind of give you different effects. They give you news about political stuff. They give you some comedy about things that everybody in this town relate to, like, oh, how about that river over there, and, something, everybody knows that it's a dirty river or something, and you make a joke about it, so you would go from town to town creating each town's story, and you meet other storytellers that would help you up your game, your production value, certain ones had more stories or different things, and other people were a little local, so that's really where these ideas of telling stories across different towns originates. And then as we develop, more with writing and the printing press and television, we have more mediums, but it's the same thing. People want to know about a region, what's going on somewhere. They want to know what other humans are doing. That is all that it's about. That's what this YouTube thing is about. That's what social media is about. Humans like to know what other humans are doing with their time in this life that we call living. And that is the basis of storytelling. Children get it. Adults get it. Everybody gets it. Animals get it too. A lot of things. And heck, even if you look at the psychology history that we have, they've been able to trace that even trees and plants remember stories as to which humans reacted to them in certain ways, which ones were friendlier, which ones cut them up and stuff, you know, and they can send those stories out too. So, you know, we're not the only ones sharing stories and creating stories here. So, like the video, subscribe, 24 Creative. If you have any questions, send me an email, 24creative@gmail.com. We'll get to it. And yeah, stay tuned.